and welcome back on my channel. I hope everyone is doing well. In my previous video, I was organizing my makeup kit and I'm starting to run out of space, so I decided to declutter a few products that I was not using as much and that I couldn't justify just keeping in my kit. So I'm going to tell you why I didn't like them, and I'm also going to share with you other things that I bought for my kit that just didn't work for me and that I regret spending money on. If you're new here, I'm a full-time makeup artist in real life and I share on this channel all the behind the scenes of my career. So if that's something you enjoy watching, please subscribe. And if you like my content and you want to support me, there is something super easy that you can do to help me with the YouTube algorithm, is to like this video and to leave a comment just to say hello. It takes 2 seconds of your life and it really helps my channel to grow. Let's start with the product that I decluttered in my last video, the Bisous eye bases. I know it's a very popular product. A couple of years ago, everyone was raving about it, and for good reasons, because it's a very unique and very innovative product. There was nothing like that back then, and I know it's a staple product for many makeup artists and many people just for their personal use as well. I initially bought 6 of their nude shades that I deposited into this little tower so it would be easier for me to carry around in my kit. When I first got it, I tried it on myself. That's what I do before adding any product to my kit, and I actually liked it. It has a learning curve, but I find that if you're using the right tools and the right technique, it looks really beautiful. It has a really great coverage, it's very easy to blend, it doesn't crease, and depending on the makeup style that you like doing, for example, if you like doing cut creases or more complicated eye looks, it's a beautiful product. It's amazing, and still to this day I think it's the best one in this category. So after using it on myself, I put it in my kit, and after that I never returned it, not even once. And the reason for that is that I don't think it's a product that's a good match with the makeup style that I like doing. I usually do pretty simple eye looks. Most of the time it's one and go, 2, 3 eyeshadows when I have to do a makeup that's a little bit more glam. And also because makeup trends have shifted a lot these past couple of years, and we don't really see cut creases and makeups like that anymore. And if you've been following my videos, you know that my favorite eyeshadows are cream eyeshadows, so they don't require a base or primer most of the time. So I just don't find the use for the Bisous bases. It's not a bad product, but it just doesn't work for me. It's just not necessary. The only way I could use them if I really wanted to would be maybe to clean under the eyebrow, but that's something that I do with concealer when I want to, or if I'm doing a very bold and bright makeup look. In that case, I would probably use the white base just to make the colors pop a lot more and be very bright and intense. But because it's something that I never do, there's just no point for me to have this product in my kit. The next product is a product that I actually really love using. It's beautiful, really nice texture, and I'm gonna keep using it until it's fully done. But that's the problem. I am talking about the Lightwork palettes from Vanessa Morales. So it's 2 highlighter palettes. This one is for light to medium skin tones, and this one is for medium to dark skin tones. And I got them because I really like Vanessa Morales brand and I just want to support her. She's a really great artist and she seems to be an amazing human as well. And also because I wanted to have highlighters for all the skin tones in my kit, so these 2 were a perfect option for me. They were also pretty affordable. I think each palette was around $30 for 6 shades, so that's really good. What's wrong with it, you're gonna ask me? Well, that's something that you might disagree with, but I just think that there is too much product in these palettes. I know, it's pretty unusual to say that, but that's the case for me. Just look at the size of the pans. They are so big, they are the size of probably what a blush would be. But how much highlighter do you put on the face, especially now when the trends are again have shifted, and highlighter is usually more on the natural side now. It's not as bright and shiny as it used to be a few years ago, and the pans are quite thick, which makes it very heavy. Right now they are depotted into one of these perfect palettes that I use for to depot most of my powder products. But when you receive them, they are in a really beautiful, I think it's cardboard packaging, but very heavy, and it feels expensive. I will put an image here for you so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, one of the palettes was covered in really nice glitter and the other one was silver. Again, they were very, very heavy, so I depotted them. But even now, they are still heavier than most of my other palettes. And I've had them for quite some time now, and they still look brand new. So I wish that the pans were a lot smaller. Honestly, just half of it would have been more than enough. Also because I'm a makeup artist, right? So I use highlighter on different people multiple times a day and on all the different skin tones. So that's why I needed these two palettes. But if you buy one of these palettes just for your personal use, like you can pass it on to your kids and to your grandkids as well. You're never going to run out of highlighter for like the next 2 generations. As I was saying, they are beautiful, they are just perfect highlighters, but it's just the size and the weight of it that, you know, it's unnecessary. Carrying my kit around is heavy, it's annoying, so if I can save a few grams here and there, I'm very happy. So my regret is that I wish that instead of buying these 2 highlighter palettes, I would just get the little Dior Backstage one, the Face Glow I think they're called. They are so much more compact, so much smaller. Yes, there's not a lot of product in it, but that's more than enough. Like, I'm sure it would still be good for at least a couple of years. And by getting the palette number 1 and number 2, that would just be enough for all the different skin tones. I don't need more shades than that. Now, the next thing is something that I regret buying, and let me tell you that it was an expensive purchase. It's not technically makeup, but that's something that I have in my kit on most of my jobs. It's my lights, my Glamcore lights. I'm using them right now for filming, so I will put a photo here for you so you can see what they look like. But basically, I like to have lights with me when I'm going on a job because I never know where I'm gonna be setting up. Sometimes it can be in a dark basement with no windows and just one tiny yellow light bulb. So that's obviously not ideal for me to do makeup and to color match people and to make sure that the undertones are right. So that's why I bought the Glamcore lights. I know that a lot of makeup artists use them. They are very popular. I was recently talking to Julie Ruby, who is a makeup artist, and she posts videos on YouTube as well. And she told me that she loved them. So it's really a personal opinion. I picked these makeup lights because they are a lot cheaper than other makeup lights can be. And let me tell you that the price is 525 American dollars, and they are the most affordable option, which is the equivalent of 700 Canadian dollars. So that was a big chunk of money. I think when I got them either with a pro discount or on sale. I didn't pay them full price, but I still paid a lot for it. I picked the Multimedia X kit because technically it looks really good. It's very compact, it's very easy to carry around, everything fits in a small-ish bag. It's pretty easy and quick to put together as well. It's 2 LED light panels, and then at the center you can put your phone, your camera, your tablet if you want to record content. So that's what I'm doing now because I paid for it, so I want to try to use them at least. But the initial plan was to take them with me on jobs and because of the two little arms you can move them around and you can really adjust the light to what you need. These lights are supposed to have different warmth color. It comes with a little remote and you can go from really cool tone blue light to very warm tone yellow lights, and that's why I don't like them, because they are just either too yellow or too blue. There's no neutral light. Even the setup that's supposed to be a neutral light is still very warm. When I first started recording videos, I only had these Glamcore lights. Now I have a third one that's actually now a true neutral light. But all my videos would turn super yellow. And that's when I realized that was not good, because even for my makeup applications, if my lighting is warm and yellow, it's hard for me to see the true undertones of colors. And I've heard other makeup artists talking about this problem, so it's not only just me. Some people are okay with that. For me, I don't find it ideal, and I wish I just bought a simple ring light at this point, because it would have cost me $50 from Amazon when this one was like more than 10 times more expensive. The one that I want to get now is from the Makeup Light. It's very popular amongst makeup artists too, but it's around $3,000, so I might just wait a little. Another product that's very popular in makeup artist kit is this Graftobian foundation palette. I got the shade Warm, and as you can see, it's cream foundations. A lot of people are obsessed with it. There is two that are very popular. This one from Graftobian and another one from RCMA. And based on recommendation, I picked this one from Graftobian. I tried it a few times and I just didn't like it right from the beginning. Because it's wax based, you really have to warm up the texture for it to become smooth and blend easily. Otherwise, it's actually quite hard to like blend on the face. And the application also takes a lot more time than using a regular liquid foundation. The coverage is not great. It's not really buildable, because if you apply too much product, it just becomes cakey. And the texture is also very thick. A lot of people love it just because it's very compact, it's easy to carry around, even just to throw in your set bag. You can use it as a foundation but also as a concealer. So I get the point, and I was really hoping that it would work for me, but I find that it only works on a very small amount of people. If you have a perfect skin with not too many imperfections, and if the skin is normal to dry, that can work, but anything else is not gonna work. I recently tried to use it again just because I don't want to waste the product, and I was using it on someone that has an oily skin. It was a man also, so I didn't apply too much product, and after only a couple hours it looked like everything was just melting. Like I had to use blotting papers and setting powder so many times through the day, and the makeup just turned really ugly at some point. I've tried using it different ways. I've tried to use it with different tools, but I don't know, I don't see why I would try to push to make it work, because the final result isn't even nice. So I think I'd rather just stay with my liquid foundations that I know work well and that give me a beautiful effect. I'm not sure, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I should have picked the RCMA instead of Graftobian. I don't know, but I personally wouldn't really recommend it. And the last thing that I regret buying for my kit is Zoeva brushes. When I first had to buy brushes for my kit, we all know that brushes are expensive, so that's why I went for Zoeva, because I just needed a lot of brushes. and I didn't have a lot of money to spend on it, and most reviews said that the Zoeva brushes were pretty decent for the price. So I got one of these big pack of brushes. I think there was 25 brushes for eyes, face, pretty much any brushes that you need. They were fine at the beginning. I think they're just very basic, like even the shape of the brushes are not very interesting. Right from the beginning, the bristles were not very soft. They feel cheap, like even the handle is like the paint is cracking very easily. The handle is also very short, so it can be a problem sometimes, especially when you're doing makeup on someone. When it's on your face, it's fine because you have more control, but when it's on someone else's face, having a longer handle, I think, is more helpful. And I remember even after a couple of times using some brushes, some of the bigger brushes, they started to shed right away. And it was bad. Like, for example, I would apply makeup on someone, like blush or powder, and I would find maybe 10 bristles on that person's face. So that was just very bad and very embarrassing too. And after a year or two of using them, the bristles became really stiff. I can't even use them anymore now just because it's so spiky. Like when you're blending an eyeshadow and it's just spiky on the eyelid, which is a very sensitive part of the face, like I can't do that to my clients, so I actually had to get rid of most of my Zoeva brushes. They are affordable, so it makes sense. Obviously you pay for the quality that you get, but now I think that there is brushes that are around the same price and the quality is so much nicer. For example, Real Technique brushes are some of my favorites, and I bought some a few years ago and now they're still really soft and I use them all the time and I clean them almost every day and they're still perfect. So now I wish that instead of going for the cheaper ones, that you can consider them as disposable, because you know that in a few months or in a year you're not going to be able to use them anymore. And I'm talking about Zoeva, but same thing happens for Morphe. I think Morphe is actually even worse than the Zoeva. I think it's just better to buy higher quality brushes that you know you're going to be able to keep for many years. Buying brushes is obviously expensive, but if you take good care of your brushes, they're going to last you for years. And if there's a few things that you should invest money on, I think brushes is for sure one of them. If you're looking for affordable brushes for yourself, fine, I guess you can give them a try if really you don't want to spend more money than that. But if it's for a professional kit and for professional use, stay away from these cheap brands. It's really not worth it. Save money for a little bit longer and buy brushes that you know will last for a long time and you're not gonna have to invest that money again. So that was a few products that I wish I didn't spend money on, or I just wish I bought something else instead. If you're buying your kit or if you're looking to buy new makeup things, I wouldn't recommend these ones. Let me know in the comments what things you regret buying, because I know it happens to everyone. That's part of the game. Thank you so much for spending this little moment with me. Take good care of yourself and I will see you soon. Bisous!